You guys are doing great, and I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I think you can hear me. Uh, yeah, hope everyone's doing great on this rainy Saturday day. I don't know about you guys, but I do like the rain. I really like the rain, and I'm grateful that it's not as crazy as it has been in other parts of the world. And here in Southern California, it's very rainy, but it's not hopefully life threatening. And I hope everyone's safe in their homes and has a place to shelter in the rain. So yeah, I'm just grateful. I do love the rain, and I'm glad we're getting it. So today I want to talk about 6 tax changes that happened that will affect your 2022 tax return. But before that, I do want to say I am a CPA, a certified public accountant. I have been for a long time, over 15 years. And I used to have a tax business. I don't have it anymore. So I know stuff, but there are things I don't know. I don't know everything. So do consult with whoever your tax person is, and just run this by them too, and make sure that um, that you're getting the right information, and that you know I that it's on you as a taxpayer to be responsible for your tax return. But still, you rely on us, you rely on the experts to tell you. So I do know stuff, but I don't know everything. And if I don't know it, we'll figure it out. We'll find out together. And if you don't have a tax person that you can go to, I am putting together my list of the people that I'm recommending, and I'm going to put it on my website, um, TanyaMiramontes.com. So I'm gathering that together so you'll have options in case you don't have somebody, because they're important. So here we go. Into the 6 changes to know for the 2022 tax year. I'm going to share my screen again and get into it. And I got inspired from this tax article, from this insider article on personal finance, 6 changes to know for your 2022 tax year. So I thought it was important to kind of highlight them. Ignore the little advertising stuff. So the first one is standard deductions are larger. So everyone gets this. Everyone gets a standard deduction. You have your income, and then you get to reduce your income by the standard deduction. So it has increased to $25,900 for married filing joint, and singles $12,950. Head of household people get to have a $19,400 standard deduction. So this just means your income that you have to pay taxes on gets reduced by this number. So it's great. It's great that it's high, but then it sucks for people who do have itemized deductions. For people who have mortgages, they can deduct their mortgages, interest, and property taxes, and on that form you can also do state taxes and contributions, donations. So now it kind of sucks for people, because if you don't have enough, if your itemized deductions are not more than your standard deduction, you don't even get the benefit of your mortgage interest and your property taxes and all those deductions. You don't even have to worry about those, because you're not getting them, because you're getting the standard deduction. So because the standard deduction is higher, that means for some people, their itemized deductions don't matter and don't count. So they don't, mortgage interest, property taxes, all of that. So there's that to think about. The second tax change is the income tax brackets shifted. So what this means is the way the taxes work is that each chunk of your income is taxed at a certain rate. And so what they're saying is they shifted them. And I did this little spreadsheet for you to just compare 2021 and 2022. So that just means more of your income is being taxed at the lower tax rate. So I'll increase this a little more. So that just means instead of like $19,000 being taxed at 12%, now it's $20,550 being taxed at 12%. And it really, unless you're making a lot, like it really is not going to make that much of a difference, because I just did this little comparison. So let's say you're making $200,000 married filing joint in 2021, and you're making the same amount in 2022. Yeah, you get a bigger standard deduction. See, it's $25,900 here, $25,100 here. So less of your income is taxed, and your tax brackets are a little better, but that's only going to save you $482. Like, it's nothing. It's not that big of a deal. And also, if you're single and you made $85,000 in 2021, your standard deduction was $12,550. So this year, sure, your standard deduction is a little higher and more of your income is being taxed at the lower rates, but that's only a savings of like $220. So it's really not that much. So this one, sure, they changed it, and that's great and all, but it's like, it's very tiny. It's not that big of a deal. Let's say you're making $400,000. Okay, now you're starting to see a difference. You know, the more money you make, the more it's taxed. If you're making over $400,000, now you're at 37% of your income being taxed. So it does seem to work for the people who make more money. So that was that tax change. The third one is the child tax credit is smaller. So this sucks for people who have kids who are getting the bigger tax credit in the last few years. That goes away. So that's gone. So now it's back to normal, back to how it used to be at $2,000 per child instead of the $3,000 and the $3,600 for children who were under 6 years old. It almost doubled there, but that's gone. So if your tax refund is lower in 2022 for your 2022 tax return, if it's lower, that's why. So don't get super mad at your tax person that your refund is lower. It's because the tax rules changed. They just changed. And the tax credit for children is lower. The fourth one is also the dependent care credit got lower. So if you pay for childcare, if you pay for somebody to take care of your child, if you pay somebody to take care of a dependent that you have, you were getting a really great credit in 2021. It was up to $4,000 for one child or one person, or $8,000 for two people. So you were almost getting back a good chunk of the money that you spent to have them take care of your dependent children. So now that has decreased. So that's going back down. And now it's only, you can get up to $1,000 per qualifying person. And that's only if you're making $15,000 or less. So you have to really be making nothing to get this credit, the max credit. So that was one of the changes. The other changes is the earned income tax credit shrunk for people who don't have kids. So what the earned income tax credit is if you make less than $16,000, if you're single and don't have kids, then the government kind of gives you a little kickback and you get a little credit for that you just get some money back. And the max you can get now is $560. Before it was $1,502. So that shrunk. So if your refund is less again, that's one of the reasons. But if you do have children, the earned income tax credit is a good one if you make less money. Then the last one is no more $300 charitable deduction. So they added this for a little bit where normally if you have enough deductions to itemize, which means you have mortgage interest, you have property taxes, you have a lot of contributions, and it's more than the standard deduction, it's more than $25,000 if you're married, more than, $13,000 if you're single, then you got to deduct your deductions. But for all the people that didn't itemize and just took the standard deduction, they didn't get to deduct any donations. But they allowed it for a while. You could do up to $300. But that's gone. So no more $300 deduction for 2022. So that's gone. So those were it. Those were the 6 little changes in the taxes for 2022 for personal income taxes. There you have it. Let me know if you have any questions about that. And a reminder also that I'm going to be doing a little tax workshop for people who are self-employed, for people who get 1099s, independent contractors, sole proprietors, single member LLCs. Even if you have a little business, like an S Corp or a C Corp or any business, you can benefit from this little workshop because we're just going to go through all the eligible deductions that you can take, that you are allowed to take. And we'll go into the home office deduction. We'll go into the auto deduction. We're going to go line by line for everything. So please join my little free workshop Saturday, January 28th at 2 p.m. And hope to see you there. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I'll talk to you guys later.